Hello, Starseeds. Welcome to Source Energetics. My name is Ashtara, and I want to talk to you today about this notion of microdosing your spiritual essence and whatever the F that means. We can talk about it, but it's a very helpful concept to keep in mind when you are walking your spiritual path. And this video, this information is more suitable for intermediate to advanced practitioners of spiritual energy, whatever that means, right? I know that a lot of people who are actually more advanced in their practice won't necessarily want to label themselves like that. But what I mean is, hopefully your third eye is already open and you know how to deal with spiritual realms, you know basic energetic self-defense, etc. Then this will be more efficient for you. But if you're a beginner, that's totally fine. You can still get a lot out of what I'm about to share. So really what I mean by microdosing your spiritual essence is like the upgrades, the light quotient upgrades and soul integration and infusion that occurs repetitively through your spiritual path. So in the beginning stages of a spiritual path, generally, you begin to interact with these very disruptive or life transformative experiences. So an example of that could be a walk-in. If you guys know what a walk-in is, it's essentially integrating a higher aspect of your soul. Some people like to believe that it's a different soul than the one that you had before, but personally, I think you can't really separate the incarnation soul that you had before and after. I mean, I've had multiple soul kind of integrations or infusions, or what you could call a walk-in, but for me, it just felt like integrating higher levels of my soul that's already there, not like a completely different soul. Or you could have a near-death experience, or you could have like plant medicine ceremonies that totally recalibrates you. You know, these events and synchronicities that happen that completely disrupts your reality, and it may take like months and years to actually integrate those experiences. I mean, people could have the most profound out-of-body experiences, profound close encounters. That's actually one of them. It's like having a genuine close encounter, which means that you are interacting with extraterrestrial species, and there's different levels to close encounters. Like, for example, you could see a spaceship, a UFO, or you could actually see the beings, the extraterrestrial beings, or you could literally have an experience of being boarded onto the ship, which all of those I've had. I know it sounds crazy for people who are not familiar with this space, but I assure you that I'm a highly functional, sane human that is not crazy. And these are genuine experiences that I've had. But you have to keep in mind, I've been having these experiences since I was literally born. Like since I was an infant, I've had these insane experiences. So for me, that's just a natural part of life. And if you feel like that's hard to believe, I totally get it. I mean, some people just have never experienced things like this, and then it just sounds nuts. But for my personal life, I've had a lot of experiences like that. So it sounds nuts not to believe in this, because I would say subject to experience, right? So when you have, for example, a genuine encounter with a real UFO, or a genuine encounter with a real extraterrestrial being, and then there's no question that that is so extraterrestrial. For example, when you see a genuine UFO, not a fake one and not like a human crafted one or not an airplane, but actual UFO, there's no question that's a freaking UFO. It looks insanely extraterrestrial. There's no way to describe it. It's just extraterrestrial craft. There's no way in terms of the size, the shape, the behavior of the ship, the frequency, and the color. The actual color is like colors that you wouldn't naturally encounter in your normal day-to-day life. So, for example, when you genuinely encounter a UFO or a spaceship, a starship, it basically just changes your life. It's a big event that occurs. When you have a galactic walk-in or like an advanced soul walk-in or soul infusion where you are integrating higher aspects of your soul, it shakes you for a while. When you have a near-death experience, it disrupts your reality and shakes you. And the same thing goes for having really hero doses of plant medicine. But what I've noticed over time, and that is actually really, I think, crucial in the beginning stages of your spiritual awakening, because you're operating a certain level of density. So if you think about like a block of ice, in order to melt it, first you gotta like really break the massive chunks of ice. And that's why I feel like first there needs to be a lot of impact to break the ice, and then from there it can just melt slow and slow into the water. But let's say that you're already really far off into the path of your spiritual ascension, and you're already pretty fluid, for the sake of an analogy. Then when you are fluid, you don't necessarily need these massive impacts anymore. I mean, you can from time to time, they always help in certain situations, but eventually you come to a place where you're able to just really make the most out of small incremental doses of these spiritual experiences. Or even when it comes to plant medicine, taking little small doses, if you know how to already navigate, then the microdoses actually end up being, in a lot of sense, more efficient and effective, because you're getting little doses that you can easily integrate to your daily life. So instead of having like this massive walk-in or a massive near-death experience once every 6 months or once every 3 months or once a year, you have these little doses of a higher frequency infusion that is equivalent to, for example, having a walk-in over a long period of time. You just have these daily infusions. And so that's kind of what I feel guided to share this concept. And this is where your abilities to work with your own energy fields is very crucial. So if you're not sure how to move energy within yourself, maybe you should practice other materials first. Because, for example, do you know how to clear your own energy field? Do you know how to have self-defense when there's entities, intrusions, etc.? Because if you don't know how to do those things, these are foundational skills that you need before you can like really fluently move around energy in your field. And so once you're in that level, if you're watching this and you're on the level where you're able to, for example, ground yourself, clear your own energy field, commune with spirit, etc., then what you can do is tune into your heart, ground your energy, connect with your higher levels of being to source field, and then get in your high heart. And from the space of your high heart, you're basically interconnected with every fractal of reality, including your higher self, your oversoul, and these galactic aspects of you, cosmic aspects of you, all share the same high heart portal. It's the same high heart portal. So when you're in your high heart energy, allow yourself to just feel that and how that interacts in your body, and allow that high heart energy to fuse your entire body. Just bathe yourself in that high heart energy. And it's nice to do a little clearing with neutral energy, like non-dual energy. So running that non-dual energy in your field, especially through your pranic too. See, like this is where, if you have no idea what all these terms are, maybe it's nice to just hear it and then come back to it later. But I don't have time to describe everything like right now. And from that space, you begin to call in your galactic teams of the purest frequency. You can call in your medical teams. And this is something that every soul on Earth has, and every soul, period, has a galactic support team. They have a medical team. And you calibrate your field. So you connect with certain timelines that you like to fuse into you. And you connect with certain aspects of your soul that feels good to you. You do some clearing as you feel intuitively guided. So it doesn't have to be like this massive disruptive event or this massive disruptive catastrophe, but you begin to fuse and have little mini light quotient upgrades and consciousness upgrades through a daily practice. So I like to do this before bed. sometimes in the morning as well. And it's incredible. Like before I go to sleep, running these fields and requesting a microdose of a spiritual infusion. So that would be like a microdose of a walk-in. So higher aspects of your consciousness embodied in your human default level baseline. So when you do that, your life will drastically change forever. So have fun with this. And it's interesting too, because like I had the same realization about ayahuasca as you guys, most of you probably know that now I'm in Peru to sit with medicine, plant medicines in a variety of different lineages. Yeah, I'm in the middle of doing that. And the last dieta that I had, I just had this huge realization how beneficial it is to just microdose the ayahuasca. So I asked the shaman that I was visiting this time just to give me little microdoses, and the effect that I had having those microdoses were so profound because I figured out how to navigate through this space and communicate with the plants and almost like have a discernment how I would prefer to co-create these ceremonies. And I was literally thinking like, why does everyone want to get like so effed up on plant medicine? Like, why don't people give it a try to just like have little doses? I don't know. I didn't even think of that before. Like, I thought you just had to get really, really high. And yeah, there's a benefit to doing that, but sometimes it's just depending on your sensitivity, it's not the best thing to do. And I feel like it's a good idea to see what the plants are capable of so that you have a good idea. And then when you get into the deep end of it, you understand the complexity of it better. But once you've had your experience with that, you don't necessarily have to do it over and over and over again for the highest level results. So that's as far as I wanted to share in this little chat. I hope this helps. And I'm going to tune in to if I should share. I'll try to make an activation to help you with this microdosing your spiritual essence so that you have like a little guidance around how to achieve this. All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Love you guys so much. And I'll see you next time. Bye.